It's time for
DodgerHeads.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020. Shohei Ohtani, 50-50 club. Strikes him out. There's a drive. Shohei Ohtani. Friedman hits the ball. She is gone. Birthday party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Scott Geirman. It's good to be on here with the boys. Good to see all you in chat. It sucks, the topic that we're going to talk about. Anthony's covering his face here. What an absolutely brutal game. Anthony Witrado, Blake Williams joining me. It's great to have the both of you in. Quick reaction thoughts tonight. Sum it up for me, Anthony. I'll start with you.
Shohei is great at everything, and the bullpen is absolutely god-awful and untrustworthy.
Go ahead, Blake. Where are we at, Mr. Blake Williams? Thoughts, initial stuff, watching an absolute meltdown of a performance from this Dodgers bullpen. I've got just an absolute stunner of a stat once you line it up for me, buddy.
Yeah, it felt like the Angels tonight, like the Tungsten Armadoyle type thing, where Shohei Ohtani did stuff that's never been done before, but the Dodgers lost 9-6. So, yeah, the bullpen is very bad. They don't have anyone in there that you can really trust right now. The offense looked good, which was encouraging, and the starters are good, which is encouraging, but it's just hard to see them going very far if the bullpen can't get any outs in like any game that they're asked to.
Yeah, no doubt. Chat again. Great to see you all in here. Appreciate you tuning in to the post-game show. Dodgers fall to the Philadelphia Phillies 9-6 in horrific fashion. Absolute horrific fashion. This was, I would say, a huge gut punch. It sucks, but I feel like this season, when it's been bad, Anthony, I think you agree with this, has been a slow burn. That it's at this point where it's just frustrating to the point when no lead is safe. This is uncharacteristic stuff that you see from this Dodgers team. And the bullpen being this bad and not being able to hold a 5-run lead, and you go out and you give up a 6 spot here. 4-run lead, 4-0, give up a 6 spot, Robleski immediately. It just feels like this is something we've seen and we've come to expect and not be surprised when it happens.
The bullpen has had this interesting year where it was like one of the bright spots, one of the strengths of the team early on. And then, whether it was just being worn down or whatever, it got progressively just worse and worse and worse. Then had like a little blip, like the starters came back, right? Glasnow was healthy, Snell was healthy, and they started to look a little bit better. And now it's just completely nosedived. I mean, they've cratered, and it's gotten to a point now where Jeff and I did the exercise a few weeks ago where it was like, the trust tree of bullpen relievers and who do you trust? And we each picked, I think, 4 guys or whatever. I didn't feel great about anybody. I have nobody right now. And look, that's not to say that there aren't guys who can come in and do the job on a given night. It's more to the point of like every time any of these guys comes in, even if he's had a few good outings in a row, you feel like you're living on the edge from the first hitter. Nobody on, nobody out, and you're biting your nails because you do not know which version of that said individual on that said night is going to show up. There's nobody here that is like confidence inspiring, like prime Kenley, right? Like this guy comes in, 1-run game, 9th inning, you have confidence that this game's over. Even last year, like Treinen was kind of had a little bit of that. He was better. But right now there's nobody. There is absolutely nobody. And I've seen in the chat some people kind of defending Dave because they're like, look, he's got what are the other options? And I'm sort of with that crew. Like, I don't think this is so much on Dave. Now, there's some decisions that were questionable. We're going to get into that. Yeah. But like in terms of who you're using, the cupboard is pretty bare. And so
Oh, I'm gonna have you hold that for 1 sec, because we're gonna absolutely just completely dive in. I'm with you, bro. This is the first 5 minutes, and we can let it all fly.
yeah, I'm hot.
Absolutely, like I'm get you. We're gonna rattle off some of these super chats here. We got a handful of them, a bunch. Again, everybody, do us a quick favor. Tuning in for us, like, subscribe if you're not already. Take 1 second for it. Take a deep breath. Click that sub button, then let that rage back out. Yell at your screen. It's all good with us. That's why we're here. I'm happy to be in the driver's seat tonight. Second show of the day. But look, we're going to be here throughout the entirety of the regular season, through the postseason. Check out all the written work that we've got over at DodgerBlue.com. Blake Williams, managing editor over there, does incredible work. Him and Matt Moreno just, guide an amazing ship at the most honest, independent Dodgers media out there. Not even close, bar none, no scandals. So let's get through these super chats here. 300 says, why in the love of God do they baby their starters and continue going through that, or to that wretched abomination of a bullpen? We're in serious trouble, folks. I'm going to rattle through them. Don't care. It says, first round exit with this dumpster fire bullpen. Bacon tree. This bullpen is going to be the death of the playoff run. Ohtani could have gone 6 innings in the bullpen, would still be a dumpster fire. 1 for 10 with RISP. Yikes. Look, Bacon tree. The offense did enough to get it done. I'm not even there's not one thing we're gonna do tonight and talk about the offense. Like, these guys, look, they did their thing. I'm not gonna,
Or 6 runs, you should win.
Yeah, you do that, you should win. 6 runs, you win a ball game. Yesterday, you score enough, you win a ball game. Does not matter. The bullpen has been horrific. The Philadelphia Phillies are a team with their sights set on a World Series title, and they're playing like it. Their entire lineup understands the assignment. They're not wasting at bats. You're not going up there. And the Dodgers set themselves up there in the 9th. Blake Trinan comes in there, gets 2 outs, puts a guy on. We'll get to that. And you all know what happened there. Blake, we're all in line to what Anthony said. There is no, in that spot, it's like, who's Dave going to? Because at some point, a lead has to be enough for some of these major league relievers to sack up and get the job done. It's just how it has to go. You can't have an implosion with 6 runs happen so fast that you blink, you take a trip out, let the dog outside, and you go, how the hell did this happen?
Yeah, it's hard to put much blame on Dave for this one, because everyone was out there giving up runs pretty much, besides for Dreyer and Bonda. Wroblewski allowed 5 runs. Henriquez allowed a run. Trinan allowed 3 runs. So it's like, that's already 3 of your 8 options in the bullpen. If they brought in Tanner Scott or Kirby Yates, then you're complaining that Dave brought those guys in instead of someone else. So they had 2 guys who got the job done, and we could probably put Alex Vesia a bit on the trust tree, but outside of that, it's just such a bad bullpen right now. There's no one he can turn to that he can trust to get outs, and it's difficult. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, if you're mad at Dave Roberts about this game, what's the alternative to what he did tonight? And yeah, sure, there's questionable decisions here and there, like Anthony said. But overall, the players still need to go out there and perform and do the job. These guys are getting paid a lot of money to go do their jobs, and they're not getting it done. There should never be a situation where a reliever can't protect a 6-run lead for 1 inning. That's just unacceptable, and that's what Wroblewski did. It was just a really bad outing from them again, and we've seen it far too much this year.
I want to toss this up here real quick. Jedi, it's good to see you. I jumped a couple super chats. Toss this up. Appreciate the support. Good to have you in here tonight. He says, sorry, Scott, I can't yell at the screen when I kind of saw this coming. Fair. When Robo didn't have it tonight, also fair. Is it too late to get Atlanta to waiver Raisel Iglesias, or I dare risk Kenley? Look, I can't tell you how good this Dodgers team would be with Raisel Iglesias or Kenley Jansen. Just one of them. Yeah. Just one of them. You'd feel so much differently. Dave Roberts would feel so much differently if he didn't have to sit on the bench and say, Robo, 4-run lead, go get him, kid. Keep it where it's at, manageable. We've got him. We've got Philly on their heels here. We've got a lead for you. Just don't screw it up. Blink. It's down 6-4, right? So having one guy at the back end that Dave Roberts could trust would be worlds better. But the fact of the matter is that there is enough talent in this bullpen that these guys flat out have to perform, and they're not doing a thing. They are not getting the job done. They should be able to do it. They have the track record to be able to do it. Tanner Scott's been terrible. He's the only one who hasn't given up a run against the Phillies in the bullpen, believe it or not. Blake Trinan's been bad. Vesia gave up a homer to Harper on a great swing. He's fine. Edgardo he looks young. He looks like he's going through those growing pains of being a young arm. Wroblewski, terrible. Bonda gave up, hasn't been the best. Dreyer, Kirby Yates, yuck. And Kopech, we don't know what we're getting with him. So you go down the list, and it's just, who the hell they have to put in there that you say he goes in and he gives you a clean one? I saw a tweet. It was like, this bullpen of dogs, what happened? Where did the bullpen of dogs go? How far away we are, Anthony, from the bullpen dogs.
Yeah. I mean, we saw glimpses of it this year, like I mentioned earlier. And like, it was like, okay, this group is back. Once the starters get healthy, they're going to kind of have all these pieces that are going to be able to click. And it's just, they have completely fallen flat. Guys you counted on who weren't on the team last year, Scott, Yates, Brock Stewart, even after the deadline, but that's injury related, but still, like, little to no production from a lot of these guys. And you look at Trinan, who was a stalwart last year and deserved to come back. And I think we were all pretty happy that he came back, because it was like, just based on what was out there, he was a good option, right? And you understood like there was going to be some issues, maybe some fatigue, maybe some regression, but like to the point where he has nights like tonight, nights like in Baltimore, that's not expected from him.
Yeah.
And then Wroblewski, who he's a guy who they have not given a lot of high leverage situations to, but he's put up pretty solid numbers. Throw him in there tonight, low leverage again, maybe medium leverage, and just fails to get the job done.
Give him a few innings, right? Let him run. Like, give him out there, see if he can roll a few innings, and it just blows up in his face. You don't even get out of it. Doesn't even happen. So, like, I know exactly what you're talking about, Anthony. Like Dave Roberts, you got 4 runs, middle innings here, Ohtani. We'll get to that in just a second. But I want to make sure we get these super chats out of the way and stay on this conversation of that. It's just someone has to be able to pick up the ball and say, I got it. And say, I got this. Don't worry. I got it. And there's just nobody out there right now who you can put the ball in their hand and say, this is a clean inning. Like, you can guarantee 9 times out of 10, no guarantees, but someone you feel confident in. Yeah.
So true, Scott. And if you said, okay, after 3 hitters, Robo, you don't have it, you're coming out. After each one of these guys faces the minimum, you bring in a new arm. Let's say, you have a crystal ball into what that guy's going to do. The people blaming Dave mostly, who are you then bringing in? What is the answer? What's the solution there? Because again, there's no arm in that bullpen that you're like, okay, well, this is the shutdown guy. If that guy existed, he would have used him.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely 100%. Blake, anything to chime in real quick before I keep rattling the super chats?
I mean, someone asked about why Vesia wasn't in there tonight. He allowed a run yesterday, so like it's not a guarantee that he would have come in and shut them down. Before the injured list, he was prone to some blowups there. He started going through some struggles. He's been fine since he's come back, but still, like, there's just no one in this bullpen that's getting the job done right now. So, like, yeah, you can say it should have been this guy, it should have been this guy, but no one in the group has got the job done. So it's just, I have a hard time putting like the blame on the manager for that when the entire group is just underperforming. If you want to go blame the front office, like, go for it. The front office built this bullpen and they're not performing, like, go call them out. But I really don't think it's a manager issue.
No, I'm going to stick with, that's why my entire focus tonight has been somebody in the bullpen has got to, you guys know what I'm talking about. Somebody's got to grow some. And you still have 4 innings to cover. Ohtani comes out after 5 no, and which is, that thing in itself. He goes out there and looks spectacular. 4 innings from the bullpen, 4-run lead. You expect the offense is going to keep tacking on. Just don't wet it. Don't wet the bed out there, guys. All right. Robert says not worth watching the postseason with this bullpen. They can't win. Look, they can win. The bullpen just sucks. That's just flat out how it has to go. They've got to get better in a hurry. You'll watch the postseason, Robert. I'll bet money on that. Adam, Dave, be like, I like trying that spot. I mean, he'll say that about a lot of them. He liked him in that spot because guess what? He looked around. It's that Travolta meme where he's like, who do I got here? Like, who else is left? Somebody said you need Brock Stewart to get ready in a hurry. Facts. Like, it's crazy. The big deadline acquisition, Brock Stewart. I need Kyle Hurt up immediately. They got to figure something out. Phil says, does this team have a puncher's chance in the playoffs? Yes. Do I have faith in the bullpen of Roberts? No. Look, first half, second half, we'll talk about it, all right? Like, Phil, I'm with you. Stick around. We're going to break it all down here. Tungsten arm game. Blake, there you go.
Yep.
Ivan says, who runs the DB account on days like this? Admin. Just call him admin.
We have a mix of guys.
Yeah, Coordinates says, wake me up when September ends. Look, I mean, we talked this morning on DodgerHeads Unplugged about being able to put these guys in slots, being able to put them in. And I talked for a number of years that fans should look for the last month of the regular season to watch how the manager deploys relievers and deploys pinch hitters and players, so you can get kind of their own internal roadmap to how they can put these guys in good spots. And Dave Roberts has been doing that. Nobody secured any of the spots, which is why it's tough to watch. So, I mean, I've been big on, I would like a guy at the back end of the game that Dave can say, look, we get to the ninth, someone you can hang your hat on. They don't got it. Tanner Scott's been garbage. So you just have flat out nobody. It's been a mix and match. It works when all of those arms, or enough of them, have been good, but enough of them lately have been just prone to these blowups, giving up an ill-timed homer. It's just too many meatballs, other teams taking advantage, and the Dodgers not being able to weather that storm. It's just too much. It's a flood. The boat's getting flooded right now. Let's see. He says, because I'm a fan of the trolling, hope it's Blake. Blake will probably say it was him because of that. Joseph says, I truly don't understand the Ohtani strat. 70 pitches to go 3 2/3 last inning, or last start, almost 90 to get through 5 before only 68 today. Why is he the only pitcher where innings mean more than pitches? Let's just go straight into it, guys. Yep. Shohei Ohtani pulled with 5 no-hit innings and 68 pitches. Blake, I want you to have the floor with this so we can dive a little bit into the thought process here. And it might be, has this gone on a little bit too long with stretching him out? Because I know it's about the up-downs. You'll get into that. But he has eclipsed this pitch mark several times in his build-up here. So kind of, break it down for us, man.
Yeah, so what the Dodgers are doing with Ohtani, it's a very, calculated thing they're doing where they're meeting with the pitching coaches, the doctors, Ohtani himself, and kind of getting an idea of how they're going to map things out and manage the games. And they don't want to stray from that because of how things went in the game. Unless it was like him throwing 40 pitches in an inning, then he's not going to end up going the 5 innings, they hope. But they're planning out what his starts look like essentially on each night. And Dave Roberts asked Ohtani in the dugout, it looked like, about if he wanted to stay in the game or not. And didn't seem like Ohtani really wanted to stray from the plan. Whether you agree with that plan that they're doing or anything, or not being aggressive enough, that's a different thing. I think they could stretch out Ohtani a little bit more. And like tonight was a perfect night to get him into the 6th inning. But they have their plan, and that's what they're following. It's not really about the pitches or anything. It's about making sure Ohtani isn't getting too fatigued, because he still is their DH. He hasn't pitched in a while, consistently. So they just are trying to be extra cautious with him. They gave him a lot of money over 10 years. So yeah, I mean, it's tough because you want him to go deeper, but they don't want to make a rash decision and push it too far.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nothing to agree about, Blake. You're right, because those are the facts. I think the thing with Dave and asking Ohtani how he felt, and kind of basically, do you want to go back out? I think he was looking for a definitive, no nonsense, yes, give me the ball back. And then they might have had a conversation about it. It wasn't just going to be like, okay, sure, here you go. It wasn't going to be that. I think to your point, they have this game planned out, at least for the regular season. And so when Ohtani said, I feel fine, kind of up to you, or no, or what, then Dave wasn't going to push that, and that was going to be that. So I don't necessarily think it was so much like the chopping block should come down on Dave's neck here, because there's more to that decision than just, hey, you have 68 pitches, you look great, you want to go back out there because the bullpen has been struggling. It was more than that. But I think the conversation was dead in the water as soon as Ohtani was sort of like, shrug, then it was like, okay, there's the answer. We turn this over. We think we have enough to win here. And in all honesty, it should have been.
Should have been enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing all this and I look at it, I'm trying not to be reactionary just based off where he was at and what his pitch count has been in prior starts here. Like we're talking just 2 outings prior to this, 87 pitches. 2 outings prior to that, 80. And I know a lot has to do with the up downs and stuff like that, but he just 5. He hasn't eclipsed 5. Like this is the second time he's done it in 3 starts. So it's getting there. But if there is it okay, Blake? Tell me if I'm wrong. Somebody said if there was ever a night, tonight would be the night to maybe push him one more. Or does it not matter that much to push him one more? Because it's the bottom of the order there, get him through it, and then the bullpen turns it over and go through that. Like, does it matter that much? Because it did, or was that just the dice roll that we play?
I would have pushed him one more from my personal, like if I was managing.
Agree, buddy.
But I don't hate that they've set a plan and they're following it and not straying just based off the game, because that can backfire too. And also, like, if we're being honest about things, what's to say they wouldn't have just blown it in the 7th inning? And then we're talking about, well, why didn't they give him the 7th inning? And why didn't they give him the 8th inning? So, like, yes, I would have pushed him. He was at 68 pitches. He was doing well. Didn't seem like Ohtani really wanted to keep going, though. They still want to keep him healthy and fresh. And, like, they have their plan. I'm not going to criticize a team for following the plan that they've set with the player and the team officials and everyone involved. So, yeah, I mean, I would have, but I get where they're coming from.
Yeah, I'm with you, Blake. And I think, too, to the people who I think haven't read between the lines or turned over the rock yet and kind of seen what's been written under it, with Dave's comments and even with Friedman's comments yesterday or the other day, the recent ones, that
I was just going to bring those up. Thank you.
Yeah. Ohtani in October, if he looks like this, is going beyond the 5th. Like, they're not going to turn a start. One, I think that was always the plan. But 2, given the state of the pen, they're going to keep the ball in his hand. It won't be a question of like, hey, how do you feel? It'll be like, yes, you're going back out for the 6th. That's what it is. They're part of the plan that Blake was referencing here is so that he's as fresh as possible for when the games matter most. And I think that's a big part of this too, is because I do think that they believe that if he's cruising and he gets through 5, that they're going to give him a 6. They're not going to, it's not going to be a hard and fast. You only give us 5 in October.
Yeah. So I've got this per Jack Harris here. This is what Andrew Friedman said on if he envisions Ohtani pitching beyond 5 innings in October. He says, quote, "I think right now it's about getting through these next 2 starts with him and getting a feel of how he's recovering. I don't know if we would push it more because no one is taking on more than he is pitching and also hitting, running the bases. So just trying to be cognizant of that, but we haven't gotten there yet." Blake, what do you kind of make of that? And that's just exactly what it is. Following the plan, understanding the workload that's put on him day to day. And even with 5 no-hit innings against the Philadelphia Phillies on a night where I know a lot of people will say, it just doesn't matter. That saying it, the feel for just needing a win, it's not that big a deal because they're locked into the wild card slot. It felt like tonight a win would have been great. A win would have been necessary with what has gone on. You got some role players with some big pops there. Alex Call, Kike Hernandez having it. And then it led to pulling Ohtani out, led to another bullpen opportunity to blow it. But I feels like would that have happened anyway? Does it matter? What do you make of Friedman's comments on Ohtani, though?
I mean, I get it. They invested a lot of money into him and they want to be safe with him. That's how they're looking at it. As much as we want this team to do everything correctly right now on September 16th, the reality is they don't really fully care about optimizing their chances of winning until October comes around. And every single thing they do is trying to prepare for October. And there were also some quotes from Dave that came out. We have Matt there covering the game. Yeah. Dave said there is no scenario of Ohtani going more than 5 tonight because of the conversations they had before the game. But he asked Ohtani how he was feeling after the 5th inning to gauge potentially for pushing him later next time and into the postseason potentially. So, like, they're following their plan. This is what they're doing. You can agree with it. You can disagree with it. I disagree with it. I think they're babying him a little too much and need to have him go deeper in the games. But, like, this is their plan. So it is what it is.
I'm kind of with you on that, Blake. I think however many starts this has been since 5 has been the target goal. Feels like it's enough. Like, okay, what's he look like now going beyond that? And especially tonight at 68 pitches or whatever it was, whatever that number was, felt like the prime opportunity to say, you know what? Okay, let's see. But the plan is the plan. I get that. I'm just with you. I think it's a little probably too much at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to these super chats here. Beaches says, Scott, Ant, and Blake, y'all are the real dogs. Thanks for everything this year. See you next year, boys. He's checking out. He's checking out. That's it.
Can't check out on this team yet with this rotation.
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen. It's just, it sucks, man. The losses with the bullpen like this are absolutely like a haymaker. But if you've been watching and you see the bullpen's ability to do this in any given spot, this is not that surprising. It's just every time you see it, you're like, God damn, man. Against the Philadelphia Phillies in a spot where you can just, at home, return a punch right back. Ohtani gets 50 tonight, and then we see this. Yeah, Beaches, I get it. If you want to check out, go ahead. A lot of people have told me this year they've watched less than baseball than they ever have. Real quick here, I got all out of order with the super chats here. Ozzy, I'm just going to put it up. I don't even know what the strategy will be in the playoffs if the bullpen is that bad. Can you guys give me any hope? Are we ready for the hope conversation yet? Chat, are we ready to have the hopeful conversation? I know how I do in the morning. Anthony knows how it is. We save that for the end. But is there a reason to be hopeful? Because I don't think this chat right now is ready to be hopeful. But can we do it, Blake? Is there any hope? Anthony, anything?
Yeah, I mean, the offense is starting to turn things around. The starting pitching is really good. I think that's the hope you're kind of relying on. And I think, Scott, you were talking about it. Was it this morning? Like, you look at the Nationals when they won in 2019, they had 3 starters and 1 reliever and pretty much no one else on their pitching staff, and they went and won a World Series. So, like, the postseason still is random at the end of the day. Am I confident? No. Can they do it? Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So there's some hope, but I'm not optimistic.
This is crazy. CR says a rough spot. Get over it. The bullpen will be back. I felt that. Get over it, Scott. I don't want to right now. Nope.
Tonight's not the night to get over it.
Not the night. I'm not getting over it. You kidding me? Anthony, go ahead, bro.
Look, man, if this is the pen that they go into October with, they're going into the fight with one hand tied behind their back.
For sure.
Does that mean they can't land a haymaker and put somebody away? No, they can, because this rotation is fantastic, and it looks like the offense is probably coming around. You got those 2 things, you got a shot, but there's too many tight, high leverage, close games in October where if your bullpen looks like this, that you think like the other 2 parts of this roster are going to get them through. If it looks like this, they're not winning it all. They have to be better.
Yeah. Brandon says here,
they've given up quickly. Part of that, and real quick, is they've given up like the 3rd most home runs as a bullpen in baseball. And the teams that are worse than them are like the Rockies and the Nationals, like teams that are tanking basically. And so like you cannot feel a whole lot of confidence in that unit when the numbers look like that.
Yeah. Richard says, blame Dave all you want. It's like Russian roulette. You can't depend on anyone. Poor pitch location has lost more games than opposing hitters. Look, I mean, there have been some meatballs. Yesterday I felt it was more about having good swings. Dreyer didn't have it. But if you're thinking of the Vesia homer and the Bonda homer, those ones from Schwarber and Harper, those were solid pitches. They were just, hit better than they were pitched. Today, Blake Trinan threw an absolute spinner of a cutter in a terrible spot. It just missed location, had nothing to it. And you give up a homer to a catcher that has like Austin Barnes level power, man, in a spot. I mean, that might be giving him too much credit. Great swing, punished the pitch in a high leverage spot. So tip your cap there. And I'm going to do it because I have no good love for the bullpen tonight. They've been dog. So, Marchand, he put a good swing on a terrible cutter from Blake Trinan, 2 outs, spot. You got to make a pitch, and he doesn't execute there. Gives up a 3-run bomb. But Richard, yeah, man, just tons of meatballs. Tanner Scott, you look around the bullpen. It's just a ton of poor location stuff. They are not executing. And if you say that about enough guys, Dave Roberts can't do anything about that. That's just a bunch of guys understanding that they have a plan. They hear it in their pitch comm, what thing to throw, and they're flat out missing their spot. So, Rich, I got you, man. Cole says this, is Daniel Hudson's arm still attached? Call him. Please, no. I'd be like, yeah, love him, but that's like Kirby Yates 2.0. I'm
looking
okay.
At guys, look at Scott and Blake, looking at guys, Daniel Hudson's a joke, but looking at guys who are not currently on the roster, is there any hope there with somebody being pulled up, somebody coming off the IL that helps this situation?
I mean,
Big Bobby Miller.
Big Don, don't say that. Yeah, golly. Not Big Bobby Miller. Don't listen to him, everybody. No. But I mean, the obvious one is Brock Stewart. And Brock Stewart is, he had one outing. That was this morning, correct, Blake, with OKC?
I think it was yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay, yeah. Yesterday. Yeah. Okay, so yesterday. It was supposed to be a quick appearance down there, one or two of them. So we'll see how they play that out. I hope it's fast. They need it. He'll be up. But I've been talking for Kyle Hurt. I think that's someone they can call up, give him 1-2 innings. He's able to do it. It's just a matter of having the maneuverability on the roster and being able to send guys up who you're going to keep down.
Yates IL.
Yeah, it's something. DFA him. Who cares? Kirby Yates looks tired, and he's had a terrific career, but it just looks tired. Looks like Blake Trinan, tired. So I think I'm not going to say Kyle Hurt would be perfect, but you've got a short audition period here. And there's a lot of upside to what the guys in the bullpen have. You know how long it's been since we've seen that upside? A long time from a good handful of them. So I'm good. I think they need to, have some infusion here just to kind of turn the tide, try it again. It's all this tryout period. Dave Roberts said it. He's going to be putting guys in different spots. And I think you need to add to what Anthony asked. There has to be at least one, possibly two. I would say two, where you can see if, all right, now you can right that ship there and have a better roadmap, because right now they don't have it. Like kind of on I know you, Brock Stewart, the one, you kind of think he's the only one there?
I mean, I'm open to seeing Kyle Hurt. I think it can't hurt. Like, what?
Look at you.
I didn't even mean to say that as like a pun or anything, but like being realistic, like what's the downside right now at this point? Like Bobby Miller, as much as we joke about it, take a look and see what he has. I mean, Edgardo hasn't been pitching well, so it's an easy guy to replace. Wrobleski, easy guy to replace. You could see if Ben Kasparius has kind of turned some things around. I mean, Paul Gervais is another guy who's interesting enough to probably take a look at, but there's 11 games left, and I don't think they're going to make any crazy decisions based on how guys perform in the next 3 appearances they have. So yeah, there's things they can try. Are they gonna? I don't know. They probably will try at least 1 or 2 of them, but yeah, the bullpen's in a really bad spot right now, and I don't see a ton of hope for upside at this point.
They stink. Yeah, Hulk Smasher Mom, what's up, man? He says, this bullpen is atrocious. I am done. Yeah, I feel that, man. I'm pretty sure I heard my neighbor screaming at his TV, so you're probably not the only one, buddy. Let's see here.
Scott, I think it's called an echo.
It ain't me, man. It ain't me. I was sitting there just grinning away, just chuckling to myself as the ball soared out on a low liner. All right, real quick here. We just got some news tweeted out from the Dodger Blue account. Blake, you want to toss that up for us? What Shohei Ohtani told Japanese media here?
Yeah, so Ohtani told the Japanese media he would be willing to play the outfield in the postseason. Dave Roberts didn't rule it out, but he noted that Ohtani hasn't done any work in the outfield this year. He's played there a bit in Japan. One thing that would allow them to do is put him in as a reliever and keep him in the game because they wouldn't lose the DH from that. I don't think it'll happen. I think it's just Ohtani being a team player. So it's interesting, though.
Definitely opens up possibilities there. I know the if he can get on ramped up in a hurry there, and that's something we would love to see, love to talk about and project of how you could include him in the game. I don't it's a possibility worth getting into here, but that opens a ton of doors.
Yeah, it does. I don't think it's going to happen. It's something I've thought about too. Like if there's a point where they're like, you know what, you're not pitching anymore. I think with one off season, he could come back and be a top conservatively a top 5 center fielder in baseball.
Yeah.
I said that take earlier in this year, so I'm totally agreeing with you. Like, he has all the tools he needs, and it's just Ohtani. Like, you can't doubt him.
Gold glove caliber center fielder.
He'd be a beast. He'd go get it. Every single thing. I wouldn't care. Ultra competitive guy. Keep him on the field. Yeah. You'd find a way.
Him in center and Paz in left, those arms, nobody would run on anything hit in that remote vicinity.
You say left just to keep Teo in right, just to make everyone mad.
Yeah.
There you go.
But wait, if you do that, where's Conforto going to be after he gets his extension?
He's out of here, bro.
Paz is going to have to play right. You're right.
All right. I got to hammer through these here. Yoshi, what's up, man? It says, to be honest, took a 1 inning for Robo to lose the lead. So if Ohtani goes 8 and Robo comes in the last thing, he doesn't have the same horrible inning. Who knows? Our bullpen, everyone is bad right now. Facts. You're ball knower. 100% ball knower right there. Don't care. I've seen this tossed around a lot. Fire Mark Pryor and whoever is in charge of the bullpen. Look, Mark Pryor has gotten a lot of flack here. He's definitely got a lot of flack. At that point, stuff falls on, coaches take the fall for a lot of stuff that they shouldn't. But in terms of this, a collective implosion, it's something noteworthy. It's something that the voice in the room has to do something. You've got to do something. And it's not scream and freak out about it, but the voice in the room and the guy in charge there, he might be the one to take a fall. But his success rate has been terrific. It's just this year, it's all coming to a head. Go ahead.
I will say, like, Mark Pryor is not their only pitching coach. He's just part of a group of people they have. He's essentially the game planning guy, going over planning with the pitchers. I think Connor McGinnis is more of like the development and fixing things guy. And then they have Josh Bard as the bullpen coach. So like, it's a group of people all doing it, and it's not like any one firing is going to change anything. And also, like, look at how good the starting pitchers have been. Like, it's just the bullpen struggling right now. So, I mean, do you want to fire Pryor? Like, sure, maybe scapegoat him, but I just don't think that's the issue. If anyone, I'm putting blame on the front office.
We'll talk about that. You know where I stand on the trade deadline. It was worthless. It sucked. I don't care about your value. But real quick, shout out to the 3,500 in here across Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in. If you're not subbed, do that already. Pull up a chair, stay a while. This is the spot for you. This is the spot for the fans. This is you tuning in here, airing stuff out here. We don't sugarcoat things. That's just not how it works over here. So I'm not gonna be a lackey for the Dodgers front office and act like everything's okay. This was an egregious meltdown, something that cannot happen for a team of this caliber. It cannot happen as much as it's happened. This team was projected. A lot of people, including myself and a lot of people around the Major League Baseball, looked at this Dodgers team and was saying this is a $110 win team. And now you're looking at third place in the National League there and having to play in a wild card round. That is the fate of this Los Angeles Dodgers team. And you better hope that the starters, the sans Shohei Ohtani, can go 7 innings, and then you can dice roll for three relievers to get that job done there. And that's kind of where it's at. Laura says, what's the bullpen ERA? Do we have that number?
I can look at it before tonight. I don't think anywhere is upgraded updated the full leaders. So we can do that.
Yeah, we'll look at that in a bit. I think MLB.com might have it, but it doesn't. I don't think it accounts for purely relievers. You'll have to dice that up on Fangraphs. But it's overall, I would say it's probably been okay. But in terms of one or a few guys, they've had the blowups there.
That best of 3 series gets so dicey when the bullpen looks like this.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have to 20. I don't know if you're at the point where we're gonna have to 2019 Washington Nationals this, but I mean you're gonna have to. A lot of guys are gonna be pitching out of structure, I would think, to make this happen and feel pretty comfortable. But even then, that's not comfortable.
They were at 4.2 before tonight, so
hell yeah,
probably 4.3 ish now or something like that.
Fire. That's amazing.
I mean, it might be a situation for at least one of those games where it's a soft piggyback situation where, let's say you go Snell in game 1, and he gets into the 6th, and then you go Sheehan after that, and you just ride Sheehan until the end.
I mean, look, we know how good he is, bro. We know how good he is at missing bats. and getting chased. Look, this bullpen, Dave Roberts was quoted tonight, believing the bullpen collectively is, quote, lacking confidence right now.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a tough thing to say with how every guy coming in, and they don't have one person in that bullpen that you can look at, or any young arm can look at and say, this guy's getting it done. He's consistently getting it done. There isn't one out there you feel confident in a high percentage clip to hang your hat on. Nobody. I don't care what the ERAs are. They're all in those spots making it happen. Okay. Go ahead, Blake.
I got the updated number, 4.3 exactly now. So
yeah,
I did my math well there.
If they, the number of games that, some of these are technically blown saves, but like some of the leads lost in the 8th and 9th innings this season, if you just cut that number in half, the division is over and they're in second place. At least.
Oh, by far, bro. By far.
It's not even close. Like, we're cruising right now.
No, because all these things add up. Momentum exists in Major League Baseball. Momentum exists in sports. You look around and Blake, I'm not speaking directly.
Not saying that just to make me
no, I'm not.
Disagree.
I'm not. But I'm saying, like, those positive vibes. People say, oh, hitting is contagious. Is that all right just in the offense? Is that okay there? No, like that matters. Success breeds success in a positive environment where things are going well. Other players want to answer that bell. When other players see everybody else sucking, you don't want to be the next person to make a mistake. All right. So you don't take those risks. You're too afraid to make that big pitch. You try to be too perfect, and that gets you beat. It's professional sports. These guys don't want to be the sucker on the big moment. They don't want that to happen. When you have guys out there that have big time confidence, that feel comfortable in those big spots and perform, then the next person wants to be that moment. You want to get that praise to be another, Anthony said, I love the word, I've been using it all week, stalwart. You want to be that next person Dave Roberts can call on in those moments. They don't have that type of continued success right now. Confidence is not breeding on itself here. And that's where they keep digging themselves into this big hole. They're running out of time to make that confidence happen because it just doesn't pop out of nowhere. Each guy has to feel it, Anthony.
Yeah, totally. And I hear where you're coming from. Like, there's nobody right now that looks like they're coming out of the pen. Maybe Vesia, but like even Trinan, like there's no one who's coming out right now who trots out to the mound, takes the ball, and as they're about to deliver their first pitch, can look at him and go, "Oh boy, that guy knows he's shutting somebody down." Like this just doesn't feel that way, right? Like Trinan's demeanor tonight on the mound, as things started to kind of go a little bit sideways for him, you could see him, like, the look on his face was not a look of like, all right, I'm bearing down here and I'm gonna put this away. It was not that kind of look. Like, he was kind of looking out and like talking to himself. It was just, you could kind of feel it slipping.
Yeah, no, I got you, man. Like, look, he throws a 91-mile-an-hour cutter down, not in a good spot. He was trying to be too perfect to a hitter he should blow down with relative ease, who has had no success all year. No knock on him, just how the numbers work. They put themselves in that spot. You intentionally walk Bryson Stott to get to a switch hitter. He's still in an advantageous matchup, right, for the hitter. And he goes out there and Blake Trinan, for the pitcher. And Blake Trinan goes out there and pitches too fine, gets beat, and goes from there. Yeah. Blake Trinan's not doing his thing. Blake just put something funny in the private chat. I appreciate you, man. Thanks. I needed that laugh major. Hawaiian Kira says, so on a positive note, the Dodgers play an extra series in the playoffs starting with the wild card game. Thank you.
More money for the Guggenheims.
More money for the Guggenheims. The check is going to hit the account. Never, because we don't do that here, man.
But they only get 2 wild card games instead of 3 in the DS, so they're going to be losing some money, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because you're saying they wouldn't host.
It's a 3-game series for the wild card, so they're going to play 2 games. But the DS, you're playing in 5 games.
So you're
up
saying,
to 5 games.
Yeah, but
you're saying they get swept, Blake, in the wild card.
I'm just pointing out facts here.
The potential, though, Blake, is 4 games versus 3.
The potential, but are we betting on this team living up to the potential?
Well, we know they're at least getting 2 games in the wild card.
Yeah, and then they're done.
Oh,
Fury says this: can't let down this rotation this season. That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what Blake's doing. He's looking
Nice
at it
play.
like they're done, man. She says can't let this rotation down the season. Look at the run they've had. Yeah, Kira. I mean, everyone was making like memeing Yamamoto for having a great start, and then Tanner Scott just saying, "Nah, hold my beer. I got this, man. You're gonna go have a sad flight, Yoshi." Like that's no. Look, it's everybody right now. It's everybody. I saw somebody in chat saying, "Who cares? Score more runs." I want, and another person said the bullpen will be fine. They're pros. Look, I need that sand your head is in real fast because that's just flat out not the way to live. Like, just read the room. Look at what's going on. They are not having a good time out there. And Dave Roberts saying the bullpen's got collective sadness and no confidence is not a good thing to publicly say. And we can see it. Look, that's not a good thing to publicly say. So you better look and see how, fine this bullpen starts pitching and how scared they pitch possibly in the days coming forward. That's not good. I hate to hear that.
You saw that look on Trinan's face and knew he couldn't deny it.
Yes. Oh my God.
Maybe we can have Dave go out to each pitcher on the mound and give them a hug, like with Yohan last year. Figure things out that way.
He needs to do the try and walk out, put his hands on him and say, "Are you going to blow this right now? Or can I leave you out here?" type thing. He's going to do the opposite. Man, he's going to do the opposite. One of my favorite baseball moments ever, and Trinan got it done. Now I'm memeing it. Look how far we've come. Jay Teaser says, what would you rather have in the playoffs? 1.5 starters in a bullpen or 5 great starters in a man bullpen at best? It looked impossible last year. That's a great question. Who is equipped to take that for us? Because I'm not. Anthony or Blake, whoever.
I'll take it. Yeah, you take the 5 starters 8 days a week. And it's why they have a legitimate shot to do something is because of that starting pitching. Looks like the offense might be starting to find itself. That's great. It does scare me though in that short series. There's no room for error right there. And so you take a tight game into game 1, let's say, and the bullpen does this. All of a sudden, your season's on the brink.
Yeah. Blake, you agree with that there?
I think so. I think we've seen teams win it both ways. So
we have.
Like, it can be done either way. And that's kind of where the hope comes from with this team. But I think 5 starters, you get 3 or 4 of them starting games, move 1 to the bullpen. You can hopefully figure out things there. Like in 2020, we saw them use Julio a lot out of the bullpen. So that worked out. Yeah, I'm probably going with the starters, but you can win either way. So
you can, but typically the teams that have gotten, like, let's say, have won a pennant, gotten to the World Series, and maybe lost it, maybe won it. I can't think of a ton of teams that didn't have at least pretty good starting pitching. The Giants were a team that had shut down bullpens the 3 years they won it, but they had great starting pitching. The Royals come to mind as a team that really didn't have great starting pitching, but they had an absolute all-time dominant back end of their bullpen.
Yep.
They were also a team that gave up no extra outs. They were an all-time great defense as well. So it can be done, but like, you have to be so secure in those other aspects of your team. And right now the Dodgers just aren't that. Like, so it's going to come down to, like, the offense is going to have to hit the ball, and the starters are going to have to give them 6-7 innings every single time of like, not just 6-7 innings of like 4 runs, like 6-7 innings of like shutty 1 run, maybe 2 runs.
Yeah. Runner on a second says, not gonna lie, I feel bad for Dog. This bullpen is comically bad. Yeah, I mean, it's really bad. I saw somebody say, why aren't we analyzing the game? We saw what happened. Dodgers offense looked great. Ohtani looked incredible. Had a no-hitter going to the plan. They took him out. Robleski imploded. Bullpen from there. What else to talk about? Ohtani hit 50.
Talking about the bullpen right now is talking about the game.
Talking about the game. Yeah, talking about the game. You guys all saw the thing. What to break down? We see the Dodgers offense waking up. We've been talking about that in morning shows, post-game shows. The Dodgers offense is starting to play. They're playing against elite pitching. They're doing their thing. They're manufacturing runs. Their stars are doing exactly what they should be doing. The role players are doing stuff. Benny Rowe, what are we talking about here? We're not talking about the game. Like, this offense is doing their thing. Their starters are getting it done. The bullpen stinks. They're holding them back. They're sinking the ship. And
Pies is looking good.
Pies is looking incredible. What are we talking about? No, not talking about the game. Don't do that to me right now. This game, this what to talk about. The bullpen is the biggest thing. Is Gratterall in witness protection?
Might as well be.
Might as
He's
well
in
be.
Arizona. He's
They always
probably
send
not
those
coming
guys
back
to
there.
Arizona, so he's probably it might be.
Yeah. Let's see. Ryzen D says Scott and Blake. I mean, you can add Anthony in this too. Don't leave him out there. I better see Ryzen D. You better put right now Anthony plus Anthony in there. Scott, Blake plus Anthony. I love your perspective on how horrible the Dodgers are. They are not ready. I mean, look, they're ready. Like they ready to play, but like the bullpen their bullpen's just the bad part. The offense is getting themselves together at the right time. The starting pitching has been good for quite some time. If the bullpen was half decent, Anthony, to what he said, this would be a whole different story. This would be a runaway division. The Dodgers would have been celebrating a division title already. Yeah. So, look, I mean, there's a lot that can be said. It's just a completely different conversation now with what's been going on here. All right. Aaron says the bullpen is talented. That gives me hope that they can find it. We have all we need to be a great pen. They just need to remember who they are. I mean, they've had a long time to do that. It's my same conversation with like Michael Conforto. It's at that point where it's like he's so many opportunities to make things happen and it doesn't. Look, it's happened at the very back end, but he's a role player. He's a role player. This is an entire bullpen. You're asking to find it in this last little bit of the season before the postseason. And you hear a quote where they have a lack of confidence. Not good things, Aaron. Not good things. I need to know where you're pulling this hope from. I get it. I understand. Well, we're talking about peaks. And Blake and I had a conversation, another chat tonight. We haven't seen the peak of these players in quite some time. It's been a bit. And they got a lot of miles. Rosemary says, I'm convinced someone did. What is it? Go ahead, Ant.
I want to hear you say it, Scott.
I don't know. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving a clip. Go ahead. Help me out.
Brujeria.
Thank you. I can't do that. There's no way this team cannot play complete baseball. Good offense and pitching. I'm sick. Rosemary, I appreciate you. You almost got a clip out of me. Not working out. But thanks for the super chat here. What is it? What is it?
It's like a curse.
It's
Okay.
witchcraft.
Like voodoo.
Okay, Blake just Googled it. This guy, man, look at him.
No, I know these things, Scott.
Right. Branzino says Dave said the pen is lacking confidence right now. How do you guys make it 700K minimum, grow some balls and grind through getting 3 outs a game? By the way, that's an incredible pick. YouTube pick you got there. I need you to DM me that immediately, please. That's so funny,
good.
Branzino. That's hilarious. Find me at Scott Geirman, please. Thank you. But yeah, look, it has nothing to do with the money they make. A lot of these guys are making quality big league money. But I'm with you on getting 3 outs. Hell, go out there and just, get something done, man. You can't go out there and just implode like that. You just cannot do it. It's ridiculous. It's flat out ridiculous for everyone. But now we know. Cat's out of the bag, Dave. You shouldn't have said that. But we already knew they lack confidence. Let's see. Our bullpen is throwing BP balls in game, 6 runs in 1 inning, bruh. Yeah, bad news. Bad news. All right, we can go through all these. I'm going to speed them. Brandon, Ohtani offering to play outfield in the postseason. Fun topic, fun idea. Don't think it's going to happen, though. Not happening. Like, if things would have to go really bad, but they're not just going to, make that happen. Things would have to go bad with depth purposes, right, Blake?
Yeah, I think
even then,
even then, Mookie would move back out to the outfield before Ohtani went out there.
Man, the amount of people who would fall to their knees that their narratives came right. The Dodgers put Mookie Betts back in the outfield. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Ohtani's more likely to close out a clinching kind of game or something like that than he is to play the outfield at all this year.
All right. The chat's telling me that I need to hit the books. I need to learn another language here. So I got some homework to do here. Don't care. Yeah. Can we score? Can we run 2 starting pitchers per game in the playoffs? Bullpen's trash. Piggyback scenarios, man.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a fair question. It's not, I don't think it's going to happen. No. But like I said earlier, I could see it happening in like 1 game, and it's probably I think Snell and Ohtani are probably the most likely guys, just because maybe those are the two guys who don't give you as much length. Like I think when they give the ball to Yamamoto and even Glass now, they can see them going 7 innings. Snell can obviously, but it's just how efficient is he going to be through the first 4 or 5? So I could see that happening like one game a series, but I've seen some people, some of our friends on other shows, talking about doing it like every game, and it's like that's not feasible. It's not realistic. You end up burning guys, and then if you don't win in like sweep of every series, like you're in a big trouble.
Hey Blake, it's our favorite saying. What does this team not need this year?
Starting pitching. But they have 6 starters. That's 3 games of doubling up on starters. Then you use the bullpen to punt the 4th game and go back on track. They did it last year.
We're back to punting. Yeah, they did.
Yep. Punt games and that souped up Brent Honeywell role. Clayton Kershaw fits right into. What are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? Here we go. Alfonso says Blake looks like he wants to head to Disneyland and ride Monsters Inc. ride alone. Blake, would that be better than watching this bullpen?
Yes, I think anything would be better than watching
There's
this
a lot
bullpen,
of things better than watching this bullpen.
I need to know a tier list from the chat right now. Give me 3 things better than watching the 2025 Los Angeles Dodgers bullpen. Shout out to the 3,700 in here on a Tuesday night, the big September 16th. Dodgers lose 9-6, and we've got 37 in here, just as angry as I am that in the Big 25, the Los Angeles Dodgers cannot handle a 4-run lead and can't handle scoring 6 runs and let that be enough against a World Series contending team. It's not enough. It's not enough. Anthony, they got to score 12 a game, buddy. And that'll get it done, because the second these pitchers don't go a complete game, watch out. Watch out. Anybody's liable to blow it.
Yep. Brutal. I saw colonoscopy as one of the answers. Things that are better than watching this bullpen.
Fire.
I was going to say eating Scott's cooking is better.
You're crazy, because a couple years ago on your birthday, you came over and I made dinner. Shut up. What are you talking about? And you loved it. You just came over like a month ago and I made smash burgers and you ate it so fast. You're insane. What are you talking about here? Shut him up. With the exception of Scott, is it not a cumulated effect from the bullpen being run into the ground last year and again this year? Another heartbreak loss, but I still believe go Dodgers. Go Dodgers, man. Thank you for tuning in. Look, I mean, there's probably some usage stuff there. There just has to be. There's miles on Blake Trinan, Kirby Yates. You could see these guys. Tanner Scott, who the hell knows what's going on with Tanner Scott? The Dodgers don't even know. Bonda, he's pitching more leverage innings than he ever has. Dreyer, still unproven there. But look, Edgardo, rookie. Like, it's more than just usage. Like, it's a great question to bring up about usage. But at a certain point, you got to just get it done, my man. Like, these guys aren't overused. I saw somebody bring this up. I don't think it's about overuse. It's that Dave Roberts they're all cognizant of the usage these guys get. It's just when they go in, they're just not performing. Yeah,
and they've spread I know they lead the big leagues in innings out of the bullpen, but they've been spread over a bunch of different guys. They might have used the most relievers in baseball at this point. I think some of that question too is it's just the natural volatility of relievers and bullpens. Now, everyone having a regression year at the same time, it feels like they're not, but it feels like that is extreme. But yeah, I think it's a combination of all of these things.
Grayson says World Series hangover. No, this is a stomach pump type season. Oh,
ooh,
yeah.
ER.
Rosemary, again, I appreciate this softball layup here. He says, "Are we still ruining baseball?"
Yes.
Yes.
They're ruining it for Dodger fans now instead of other fans.
You know what we're doing? The Los Angeles Dodgers bullpen is saving baseball, because every team around the league's fan base is enjoying the hell out of this. So they're saving baseball. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Tanner Scott's doing his job per Guggenheim. More eyes are on him than ever. Pointing and laughing. All right. Let's see. It Says, really hoping the Dodgers or Raiders would stop playing bad ball, but I think I'll have to wait until next year at this rate. Blake, thoughts on the big Las Vegas Raiders?
They had no business beating the Patriots. I'm very upset about that.
Yeah. There we go. Hawaiian Kira says post-game loss remedy, eat, drink both. I need you, Kira, I need you to go directly to the biggest screen you have in the house and put Justin Robleski's face up there and yell and then sock the middle of the screen. Okay. That's what you do right now. Exactly that. That's what we all need. Okay. Did I make it through all the super chats here? I think one more. Tyler, this is a rare year of the front office whiff, unfortunately. Each offseason and trade deadline plagued by injury or underperformance. Crazy underperformance. You look at it, and it was like offseason of the century. Last 2 years, nobody could have done this better. Nobody. But that's resource.
Every front office, every fan base would have taken the winter the Dodgers had.
Loved it. To have that much excitement, that much movement, that much influx. It's just about having resources. It's just remarkable how poor a lot of these investments have been. If Blake Snell being as good as he's been, we all knew that he was an elite guy. But when you look around, Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, Michael Conforto, man, what the heck happened? What the heck happened? That's when you could just, have money and just toss it around. Let's see. All right. Where do we go from here?
We have to give our thoughts and prayers.
Oh, Rosemary, going to the game tomorrow. It's going to be brutal. I need you to let me know the decibel level when the first, if I can't do this, if a first implosion sign happens, the boos that will rain down. Please, Rosemary, let me know. Let me know. At me on Twitter. Love it. Dew says he didn't love signing Tanner Scott or Michael Conforto. Understandable. Totally understandable. Ging says Teoscar. Yeah, Teoscar and Edmund have been down as well. Nope, doesn't fit my narrative. Incorrect. Let's see. Doesn't fit. Sorry.
Scotty G's cooking tonight.
Rick says Conforto is a good reliever. Hey, look, he might be. That's Blake. That's how Michael Conforto can secure a multi-year deal. Mr. Blake Williams, how can Michael Conforto secure that multi-year contract? And is it in the form of the reliever?
No, just continue being a great guy and putting up good projected stats, the numbers like him. So, yeah,
perfect.
The counting stats just don't like him.
Look, guys, I know how this conversation has went. It is all about the bullpen. It should be all about the bullpen because I won't lie. I saw Ohtani cruising. I saw the offense doing things where it was like, look, this is another building block, right? Alex Call gets a pump. Kike Hernandez absolutely obliterates an 0-2 hanger. The worst 0-2 pitch you can make, right? Deposits it. Dodgers are up 4-0. Not going to lie. It's not that I stopped watching. I stopped saying, they've got to be all locked in here. They need to keep playing, but I felt like the Dodgers were in pretty good position to do it. And then it all went south. That's personally me. I should have known better, but I didn't. And that's how I wound up at this spot where there's enough fire in the tank to sit here with you beautiful 3,700 people on a Tuesday night and with Anthony and Blake. Final thoughts here, and we're going to let everybody get out of here and take a couple questions because we're burning the oil. Anthony, wrap us up for us.
We do need to get into the Phillies clinching the tiebreaker over the Dodgers.
Well, that was a given. Yeah. So the Phillies clinched into the tiebreaker for the number 2 seed. It felt like we talked about this ad nauseum over past few days that they had to have a sweep. Two of the three would have been, some stuff could have had to go their way, but now the Phillies have the tiebreaker for the 2 seed. Cannot happen. Set your sights squarely on the wild card round, Dodgers fans. That's their fate. Blake Williams, initial thoughts with that, man.
We kind of saw it coming. I don't think anyone's surprised this team's going to have to go through the wild card round. So, yeah, it's 2 games guaranteed at least for them. Not 3, but we'll see.
Yeah. Ant?
Look, we knew anything short of a sweep and this pipe dream of the number 2 seed was probably gone. So I think now go out, win the division, be able to set your rotation up because now it matters more than ever because they do not have that week break, right? They're going to go into games a couple of days or so right after the season ends. So you got to make sure that that rotation is lined up how you want. And then, man, at this point, it feels like a roll of the dice because of how much are you going to have to rely on that pen. Not every starter can give you a complete game every night. So first order of business, go secure the division, try to win it going away. So that way you can put the guys you want on the mound to start that wild card series. Cause that thing it's a crapshoot.
What's the Dodgers magic number right now?
For the division, I think it's 9 or 10.
9. Padres lost tonight.
Right. Okay.
All right. Magic number is 9.
We did miss the super chat from Jonathan.
Okay.
So
Jonathan, good to see you, man. Says, fire Dave Roberts. Why go to Trinan? This is easy. Why not go to 1999 Mario Rivera, 2014 Kenley Jansen? They were there. They were literally sitting in the bullpen, Jonathan. I don't know what happened. And why did he personally Scott and Yates? What?
Ruin? He probably personally ruined both of those guys. Maybe that's what Jonathan's getting at.
Yeah. I don't know. Guess, yeah. Personally signed. Yeah. Why did he sign both of them? I think that Eric Gagne in his current state could give us some quality innings. Anyone and get a random thing. I think Pedro Baez would be an upgrade. You know what I mean? I think he'd be stellar right now. Yeah.
I can get Gagne on the phone. We'll have him over here real quick.
Perfect. Absolutely. I got a buddy of mine, John Salas. He'd go out there and give us 4 quality innings. He would absolutely dice with an 82 mile an hour fastball better than what, some of the stuff that we've got here. Look, 1999 Rivera. I never thought of it before. Never thought of it. All right. Couple questions here. Let's do it. Blake, are we okay to go right to there?
Yeah, I think we got to everything else.
Let's do it. Chat, thank you so much. You guys are the best, man. Best community we've got. They're the best Dodgers fan community on the internet. We appreciate you all. It's not even close. You guys give us the best support. We're out here doing this just for you. It's a privilege. It's an honor and privilege. So we're going to toss into some questions here and let you all get out of here for the night. Enough of this. And then we're going to let it go. And then we're going to wake up tomorrow and hopefully they can salvage one against the Philadelphia Phillies here. Have a good showing there. Hopefully the bullpen gets their act together. Cool. Jedi, real quick, says Scott looking for all the pitch clock violations with Pedro Baez. That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. You know what he would do? He'd put a guy in first, saw a bat off, get a double play, no problem. Absolutely no problem. Okay. Blake, find those for me here. Let me look something up.
We had this one from like an hour ago.
Does the front office and ownership group see how bad Dave is at managing? You can answer this one fairly easily.
I feel like I've kind of talked about it earlier in the show, so won't go too deep into it, but I don't think it's a Dave issue. I think it's who else do they have right now? Like, he's going to go to someone else, and that pitcher is going to be the one who blows it, and then we complain he didn't go to the other pitcher, and then he goes to the other pitcher a different night, and that pitcher is the one who blows it, so we complain he didn't go to the other pitcher. So he goes to that pitcher is the one who blows it. Like, I don't think it's a Dave Roberts issue at this point right now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ant.
In the last couple of weeks, every single one of these guys has had some sort of ugly outing. Like Vesia has, he's given up a run.
Dreyer didn't have it for an entire inning. Robleski, I got you, man.
It's all these guys that Bonda, all the guys that we're like, okay, you know what? Like, this guy could get a job done here. They've all gone through it in the last couple of weeks.
Kopech, since he's come back, I haven't felt confident with Kopech. I am flat out, I'll tell you. I haven't seen anything, over an extended period. He hasn't been up very long, but over a solid handful where you're like, yeah, Kopech can go out here and be consistent enough to put him in. I haven't. It's just been too much of a dice roll, man. BC, I saw you ask, they play 2 more games. No, just tomorrow. That's it. Final game. 3-game set. 3-game set, and that's it. Cool. Let's see here. Light on questions. We talked about everything. We have one here. It says, Aaron, am I the only one who is intrigued by what will happen in the playoffs and the wild card? This team has a huge fire lit under their ass. I want to see if they can answer that call.
They're going to have to.
Yeah, they have to. They have to answer the call. And, Alex Call did tonight. There you go. There's your pun, Blake. You can smile. Aaron, I mean, look, it is intriguing, but I don't want to play in a wild card round. Nobody should want to play in the wild card round. The whole myth of saying, you want to play in the first round so you go into the division series with ahead of steam, playing good ball. No, you want to be able to set up your rotation, set up your bullpen, set up your team, get healthy, have that break where you can get your team a little blow, and they can go out and they can perform. The Dodgers know how to do that. They've done that for years, but now they're going to have to put their season on the line in a super short series here. And you hope. That's it. You just hope. You hope your starting pitching gets it done. The margin for error there, you just have to be, you got to be on edge. I don't like 3-game sets. I hate it. That's why the 1-game thing, I'm glad the Dodgers avoided that stuff for so many years, and they were fortunate. Now you won't have the bye, and now you're at the mercy of a super short series. All right, let's see. Where are we at? What else you got, Blake?
There's a super chat here.
Thanks for letting us air out our frustrations and not sucking up to the team and management. Great show, guys. You're the best. Don't care. You're the best. Yeah, nobody does that on here. A lot of times it's more so about being reasonable and speaking to the truth, and like seeing Blake does this all the time, and people dunk on Blake for what? There's times when it's being reasonable and speaking the truth and looking at what the front office and the team has done for years and speaking directly to that. And it's not looking at blue lenses. It's just flat out like it's stuff fans don't want to hear. But on nights like tonight, the deadline, we talked about it being a miss. We talked about them needing more help there. Some people in the bullpen having to separate themselves, and don't care on a night like tonight. The bullpen had to do the barest minimum and hold on to a lead and hold on to a game where the offense puts up 6. So there's no covering for that. It just cannot happen. Nobody should be doing that. I don't think you'll find a reasonable show about Dodgers stuff in a game like tonight where they're covering for the bullpen. And I'm going to go to Anthony here because I know he agrees with me. But don't care. Like, there's nobody that is going to stand up here and root for the front office and how they put this mix out here. But it's a lot on the players. It's all in the players, reasonably.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to call a spade on this show. But we're also going to be realistic with how we critique things. If we came out here and every time they lost the game, we were like, Dave Roberts should just be fired, then nobody would take us seriously. And it wouldn't be the show that it is if we didn't have the perspective that I think all the people who come on our screens here are able to have. So I think that is what makes this show great. It's why I'm proud to be a part of it with you guys. And it's a place where this also helps us on a night like tonight, right? We let out our frustrations too. We're not screaming and cursing and fire everybody, but it is a place for us to sort of take our group chat to the next level and say, this team sucks right now, or this bullpen sucks right now.
Yeah, totally there. Here we go. Yeah, I wanted to put this up from way earlier. I remember a lot of bad bullpens, but this one is the worst. I mean, those are 2013, 2014, 2015 bullpens. Look, I mean, we can talk, but this one definitely, it just looks like a bunch of rundown guys and arms who haven't figured it out. Ray, you guys are all have an awesome show. Thanks for the great chat. And Ray, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Again, everybody, same exact thing here. Aaron, to my narrative, says we need Kyle Hurt. I don't need him, that's just the matters of how much you value him and understand what you could do. And if the front office is going to take the gloves off, but he's on a path back from, major surgery. So he's a big part of their future plans. I don't know if they won't rush him. If they feel like he's in a good spot, then sure, we could see it. Rosemary, is Kersh a pen arm in the postseason? No, I don't want that to happen. I think he's earned a start. I think that's like where it's at, but you got to get into a 7-game series to kind of see that happen. Would you agree, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it probably wouldn't be planned. Like, I don't think they're going to go into that series and label Kershaw a reliever. It would have to be like a Washington Nationals type of situation for him to get into a game as a reliever. Yeah.
All right. Rapid fire through a couple of these here. Blake, is Nick Frasso even real?
Yes, he's just not good. So ever since he had the shoulder surgery, he's been kind of cooked.
Anthony, what's your confidence in winning the division?
100%.
Blake, why don't you believe in momentum?
Have you seen how the Padres look, Blake?
Have you seen the Dodgers?
Blake, why don't you believe in momentum?
because we see over and over again, it doesn't actually end up affecting things. Like the Yankees had all the momentum in Game 5 last year, and then the Dodgers won. We've seen the Dodgers have all the momentum, and then they lose. Like, it goes from an inning to inning thing, and it's not consistent enough where I believe it's real.
I'm giving this one to Anthony because I love the way he cooks sometimes with his words, and he's very eloquent with this. Anthony, how would you put this Ohtani season in perspective? Back-to-back 50 homer seasons feels incredible.
I've said this before. We're really fortunate to be fans of this organization in this timeline. And this is part of the reason why they went out. They had a strategy to go get this guy in 2 off seasons ago. They landed him, and he's been paying off. And how do you put into perspective his first 2 seasons? Historic is an really obvious word, especially when it comes to this franchise. I think that you take these 2 seasons, and as a baseball fan and as a Dodger fan, you make sure that you do not forget them, because they're going to be seasons, and he might have more, but they're going to be seasons that you tell your kids, your friends who weren't around. You're going to tell them about. You're going to be the old guy in the rocking chair or the old lady, stirring up some sauce, talking to other people who like the Dodgers or didn't know about the Dodgers back in the day. You're going to say, I saw that guy play. We're going to talk in LA about him the way you talk about Kobe Bryant.
Look, man, my daughter's number right now in softball is 17 for Ohtani. Like, that's it. His reach and what he does for the game is unbelievable. Hallelujah. Question for Scott: which team's idea is the worst? The 111 win team treat playoff games like regular season games, or this year we can flip a switch in October if they lose it all? Which idea is the worst? This one. The one that I would rather have, the 111 win team, because their bullpen didn't suck. So I like that. I like that one much better. There was a food question in there, but this is my show, so I'm not doing it. Blake started. It's not happening.
It was going to be about you, though, when I gave my answer.
Not happening. Not going up there. Sorry, different show. Let's see. Here we go. Says, why would you risk Ohtani in his 30s and out in the outfield while all his colleagues who share the same hitting stats and profile are out with injury every single season? Injuries in the outfield. Are you taking the bat out of his hands? So Blake, go ahead here. Anthony, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think we're saying to put him in the outfield. I don't think anyone's advocating for that. He's not going to play in the outfield this season. I don't think he probably ever plays in the outfield in a Dodger uniform ever. I think we were just saying, in a different world, if he were ever an outfielder and not a pitcher, he would be one of the game's best outfielders.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. This one's big hopium. Here we go. Aaron, you get a lot of screen time tonight. You're the hopium person in here. I appreciate it. At the end of the day, do you still have hope for this team, regardless of fandom? If you weren't a Dodger fan and just an outsider, would you think we are cooked? No, because you have 3 Hall of Famers right at the top of your lineup. No, you have a starting pitching rotation that is electric. If you just looked at the flat out stuff that they've got there, but then when you see a night like tonight, you'd be like, man, that bullpen got blasted today. But I think fans around the league just see the big 3. They see the marquee names. They see the guys in the starting rotation.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't think they're cooked. They would say that they're still the Los Angeles Dodgers and anything can happen. It's that when it's surprised, it's like the 9-hitter hit a 3-run blast off Blake Trinan, who just closed out, like who just pitched in a game 7 of the World Series, game 5 of the World Series and shut her down. Like, that's how it is. And somebody says we are half cooked. I mean, look, you can dice it up however you want, but it's definitely like teams around the league and fans around the league know who the Dodgers have and what they are. It's just like we follow this on a day-to-day, and you see the meltdowns happen. That's why it sucks even more, because they can be better.
For what it's worth,
the
Dodgers are still number 1 on all the Vegas betting odds to win the World Series. And Fangraphs also has them as number 1 to win the World Series with a 15% chance. So, like, as bad as it looks right now, like the outsiders and the people who don't have fandom covering their eyes or anything still think the Dodgers are really good. So,
yeah, and if
you guys agree with that, like, yeah. So,
yeah, if you listen to the national shows too, podcasts, YouTube shows, pre-game, post-game shows on TV, they all still feel like the Dodgers are one of the best teams in baseball. We're certainly the hardest critics on this club than anybody else.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, got enough starting pitching. They're in a spot where we've talked about there hasn't been a year where I feel more confident in the starting pitching going into a postseason series with the depth, with the caliber, and the stuff is as good as we've seen. You know, we've waited years, Anthony, Blake, for this rotation to be in a spot like this. Years. And the fact that Clayton Kershaw is on the roster to see a rotation where he might not make it because there are flat out guys that are good enough to pitch at the front end of a postseason series. You go down the list of the starters, and they would be 1s and 2s on every team in the league. Every team in the league. And the Dodgers have 4 of them, perhaps 5, given on what you think about Emmett Sheehan and the stuff that he's got. Okay. So it's like they're at this point, and that'll always give you a chance. But on nights like tonight, and you see the bullpen, we're going to talk about the bullpen and light the bullpen up. It's going to be the starting pitching and the offense that's going to have to save it. If the bullpen wants to figure it out and somebody rises back, we'll see what happens with Brock Stewart and who wants to play. I still like the lefties in the bullpen. They just had a bad night yesterday. That's how I see it. I still like the lefties. But when it comes to like Enriquez, Blake Trinan, Yates, Tanner Scott. Sorry, I don't have faith in Tanner Scott. My bad. But Kopech, the righties are the ones where I'm like, what do we got going on, guys? Like, what do we absolutely have going on, and how did they miss? So it's going to be up to Brock Stewart and hope, to be exactly who's been poor against lefties. So it's figure it out, guys. But Blake, I do this every time I'm on a show with you. Appreciate you, man. Final thoughts from you, and then we'll go to Ant, and then we'll take us home.
Let Anthony go first this time.
Nope, I'm not.
My final thoughts are this team is very bad right now, and we can all be annoyed with them and hate them. Doesn't mean they're not going to win the World Series. You don't have to be optimistic about it, but they might. That's the fun of baseball and sports in general. You never know what's going to happen. I've seen teams where I was very confident they were going to win, and they didn't end up winning. I've seen teams where I wasn't confident in them at all, and they ended up winning. Like, I don't think anyone would have predicted the Diamondbacks would have swept the Dodgers in 2023 or that the Padres would beat the Dodgers in 2022. It just kind of is what it is sometimes in baseball, and it's difficult because you want them to win all the time, but that's the randomness and the fun of it. And yeah, they can still win the World Series. Not saying they will, not confident in it, but that's why we're watching, and it's not over.
There you go. Somebody was flaming you in the chat. Stop supporting him, Blake. Stop being happy about him. There it is. Blake still has the doubts, so he always does it. I love it. There you go. Anthony, final thoughts. Take us out.
Yeah, I will say this. We are going to feel better about this team coming out of the last day of the regular season and going into October than we feel about them tonight.
Love it.
What if they lose their next 11 games?
Well, then I will be wrong, Blake.
Then, yep. Too much. People saying too much copium. Crazy, man. Yeah, too much. After the hour and 23 minutes of all the talking directly.
We just slammed them for an hour and a half.
An hour and a half, and it's the copium. That's too much. I feel that, Miguel. I got you, man. All right, guys. Again, that's Blake Williams, managing editor. This is Anthony Witrado, one of the best contributors we've got that I've ever been a part of, ever worked with. Appreciate you, man. The both of you. My name is Scott Geirman. It's great to have you in. Welcome in. If you're new, welcome in. But again, thank you for going along this ride. We'll be back here. If I'm on tomorrow, if I wake up in time, then we'll see you tomorrow on DodgerHeads Unplugged with me at 10 a.m. And we'll get it going. Okay, we'll keep chopping it up, have a different topic, and we'll keep this train rolling. But to the 3,700 that tuned in on this Tuesday night, you're the best. We appreciate you. Keep tuning in. Got a lot of content coming up, leading up into the playoffs. But you got the best fans. We've got the best fans tuned into our channel. We'll talk to you soon. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your night. We're going to keep saying it until we can. As always, go Dodgers.